Hey, sexy soul. Welcome to Weird and Woo Woo, where I'm weird and we get a little woo woo. I am going to be changing the name, but still maybe using Weird and Woo Woo as like a AKA kind of thing. We're doing a coffee and tarot. It is raining outside. I can definitely feel, if you work with water spirits, I definitely feel them. Not because it's raining, but I definitively feel their presence. So that might be pertinent to somebody. If you don't work with water spirits, that doesn't necessarily mean that this isn't for you, but somebody who does needs to know that they are present during this. So, yeah, coffee and tarot. Here's the premise. We're going to do a reading. Spirit gets to lead the way. It's a time where we don't come to spirit asking questions and having an agenda and things like that. It's where spirit gets to sit us down and say whatever they want to us. And so on that, they kind of have the reins. They don't just kind of, they do. Meaning that I can ask for clarification, but if they want to glaze right over it and move on to something else, that's their prerogative. I will attempt to ask questions just to clarify and get additional details, but they're completely in control. And so whatever comes out is what comes out. Now, I recommend going ahead and getting your cup of coffee, your lemon water, your hot toddy, your smoothie, whatever it is that you want, settling in, curling up, because sometimes these, they are what they are. You need to be in a very calm, peaceful state. A chill state. I would just be like it's the time to receive, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So if you don't feel like you're open to it at any point, you may either want to completely ignore this message or come back to it at a different point. Um, all right, so let me go ahead and give you my spiel. You are a sovereign being over your life. You get to determine if, how, when, where, why any of these messages might apply. My recommendation to you is to never Cinderella it to make it fit. Oh, oh, my nose immediately itching. What is going on? It doesn't usually itch like that. I don't know. This is a new deck. This is a new deck. I have had this for 3 years now. Have not ever used it on here. Is it almost exactly 3 years? Just shy of 3 years. And I've taken time to get to know it, and then I put it away, and then I come back to it, and it's like I got to relearn it, and so I am still learning it, and I will probably be looking at. I've got little notes just to jog my memory a little bit, unless I get a download with one of the cards. So, but they want me to go ahead and start integrating it into my readings, getting very familiar with it in that capacity. I will show you what this deck is. It is this one. It is a German deck. It is a German oracle deck.
Oh my gosh, my nose is like,
Only on one side. All right, so I have shuffled this. Let me lift this bad boy up. And let's see what's going on. Do I want to go with that? Okay, we will. I'll start here and see what these are. This is, as if you couldn't tell, this is basically like the devil card. Okay. Oh no. Idle and lazy. What is it? Idle hands is the devil's playground. With the idle and lazy, I would give like apathetic or stubborn energy of like not want, like, resistance to that. Okay. Let's get here. Alrighty. This one talks about surprise, defeat, like a fall on the face, like face planting into the ground, basically. Bruised ego, kind of like somebody effed up is the way that I would, you know what I mean? Like this is kind of like, oh, I messed up. Or oh, like you can't, like when people want to save face because something's embarrassing, they did something that's kind of like, and is somebody rooting themselves into some kind of repetitive pattern, or is something, when you have anxiety about something and it gives way or space for something else to kind of creep in and like turn the volume up on it and use that or manipulate that to kind of like puppeteer you a little bit, whether it's a person or an energy or, your own ego. It's like it beholdens you to some kind of like cycle or pattern that keeps you in a very idle, unmoving, look, we're just going to talk like this, unmoving state. And it's either out of not wanting to mess up or like, like pie to the face in front of people, or it's going to cause you to do that. Okay. And yeah, denial and refusal. Somebody is denying this. Surprise defeat, fall on your face, some kind of an accident, bruised ego. It's like denial that either this is going to cause you to F up or that you have effed up, or that remaining in this, right? Like this idle state, this lack of movement has allowed something to kind of take hold, and that was the wrong thing to do, but it's almost like you're in denial about it. I think that's where we're going. Oh, I think this flipped with that one, so I'll put it beforehand. Somebody may also have kind of like done something that was embarrassing, or you feel like you've done something that's embarrassing or that you were embarrassed of, and that you're in denial about how that's impacting you and how that's keeping you idle and how that's giving way to let something manipulate you. Just one more, Spirit. Maybe. I got two more. All right. Amstrudo is a whirlwind, a swirl, almost a bit of like a chaotic energies that are consuming, a whirlwind. Okay. This is going to be like the death card here, obviously. Fall and demise. It's either into something, the fall of something. this may be a past energy or something that you've dealt with up to this point and has kind of consumed you and been like a whirlwind and very difficult to kind of like climb out of. You see how he can't come up for air basically. And that might be coming to an end. Let's take a look at everything really quick. We're on an adventure together. Okay. Rescue, save, salvage, and help. Okie dokie. Okay. So this is rescue, save, salvage, or help. Like somebody flying through and kind of like picking you up out of this whirlwind. Alrighty. I kind of like this one. I've only read it with like trying to put two cards together and stuff like that before. So corrupt. This is just straight up corrupt. Thievery, corrupt, lies, deceit. And failure, letdown, disappointment, flop. Corrupt, failure, letdown, disappointment, flop. Some kind of pattern keeps repeating. It keeps you, it's like you're in hermit mode, or like you are just not wanting to do, like you refrain from doing, you stay idle. It's almost giving like fawning, like you're fawning in life right now. Which may create a situation where part of the pattern that you're repeating you're repeating the same mistake, creating the same problem. And you're just in a place of like denial or like refusal to do anything about it. Like you refuse to get up and do anything about it. Okay. And like this needs to end. It obviously needs to end. Okay. Really disappointed. Something in this is the repeated pattern or mistake is falling for some kind of lie or deception? Or do you continuously let something or someone lie or deceive you? And then you get in this pattern of, oh, I'm so let down because of it. Something needs to save you from this. Why would, okay. I'm going to go on a limb. You very well may need to save yourself on this. Let's find out. All right, we're going to use New Era Elements. There could be some level of depression, potentially. I am not diagnosing anybody. You would know if you do or don't have that. Or you would have said something to yourself like, am I depressed? Like, because this person's stuck in bed. It's like, it's not even worth getting out of bed for. It's not even worth trying. That's where the idleness comes from. It's like, it's fawning. It's like, this just keeps repeating. That's what it is. There's something that keeps repeating. It probably has something to do with lies, deceptions, or feeling kind of like tricked by something, by life, by a person. And you're like, why? There's no use. You feel embarrassed by this. You feel let down. Why do they want me to use this? Where's the 19? Like you get taken, like, okay, surprise defeat. Because I was like, I feel embarrassment, but they want me to use something different. And I'm like, it's like a surprise defeat. Like this took you by surprise, but it knocked you down. First off, is it really a surprise? Like, I guess you didn't think that this was. There may be something that you believed in or had faith in that ended up turning out to be no different or no better than past cycles or past events. You feel like you're stuck in some kind of like time loop or like something that's, you know what I mean? Like you've been tricked, because the devil's the ultimate trickster, right? We said that in the very beginning. I was like, there's a trickster energy. You feel dumb, let down, and surprised all at the same time. Like it took you by surprise. What was the denial and the refusal? I do still think it's somewhat of you like refusing to get up now. You're like, like you constantly feel like you're being taken by surprise with this. Like you don't want to be taken by surprise again. You don't want to get embarrassed by experiencing this one more time. Tell me about this first one. We do have the Wheel of Fortune. Dang, this deck wants to. Seriously? Ooh. A positive cycle, a positive beginning. Death card. A rebirth, like a positive turn in life. Page of Wands is the energy of life force, in my opinion. It is the epitome of, it's that what first sprouts from the seed that's planted. It gives you inspiration. It gives you drive. It gives you passion for something when you see something either evolve, develop, or begin to sprout life. And so it's a positive turn. It's the old adage of like something good can come from whatever negative experience. Like this must have you down. Something really did take you by surprise, but also has the air and feel of like, again, seriously. And it's something that you had faith in. And so now you're like, I just refuse to go through that again. Like you want to save face. And so you're being idle, you're fawning, you're like, just whatever. And you're like, instead of doing anything about this or attempting to go in any direction, you're just kind of like, you're fawning. So we have the Queen of Wands here. It's like succumbing to life and its circumstances and believing that it somehow has power over you. You may have really thought that you were wielding the energies in your life, but you may feel okay. We're the Queen of Wands and the Emperor. I'm not sure where that's going. King of Cups. Judgment. Again, with this down here, it's like you felt deceived. You really thought, this is the idea of like you thought something was going to go somewhere, you had faith in it, it didn't. And as a result, it kind of like overwhelmed you or overtook you. And it's like, I think you're tired of outward circumstances or situations kind of like getting the best of you or consuming you. whatever this is that you thought you had faith in, you feel like you don't want to do anymore because you want to save face because it took you by surprise. It was embarrassing to some degree. So you're just flat out refusing to do it again, is because it there was something very overwhelming about that. And going through that process, you must have gone through this several times before, where it's like, okay, why does this keep happening? Or this has happened a couple of times in my life. I'm not dealing with this anymore. Um, um, this kind of let down, or this kind of like faith and then taken by surprise, and things like that. This doesn't feel as if it's like you're being naive. Maybe in some circumstances you have, but it literally is like either a situation, circumstance, or something that you should have been able to have faith in, that there should have been a level of integrity with, and that should have transpired in a particular fashion, but didn't. And it's like, it's the old adage of having the rug ripped out from underneath somebody. And you're just like, I can't constantly deal with those overwhelming emotions where I begin to move and do things in my life according to something that I believe or have faith in, and then the rug gets ripped out from underneath me, and it's like I suddenly now don't have a path before me because an aspect that was integral to that path is no longer there. Low-hanging fruit is like relationships where you then begin to build with a forward trajectory and a future focus with somebody, and then poof, it just doesn't go where you think it's going to go. And you're like, I'm done doing that. That can be also like careers. That can be like trying to go out for particular positions, or trying to go for certain types of colleges, or like when people try to take the LSAT and pass so they can go to law school. It's like sometimes it's one of those things where it's like, I really thought I had it this time. I really thought it was good. I had faith in myself. I had faith in what was happening, and poof. And it's just a repetitive pattern that it's kind of like it can take the best of you when it does happen, and it overwhelms you, and there's a need. You're like, it needs to stop. That just needs to stop. Period. It needs to stop. Like you're just not. That's where the idleness and the refusal or denial of like, I'm not going to let this happen again. And so you're kind of like cutting something off. You're sick and tired of feeling deceived by whatever this is. Having hope, and then, having signs or synchronicities or even people in your life pouring into this hope, and then it getting ripped out from underneath you. You know what I'm saying? You're tired of the lies. You're tired of the deceit. It feels like a corrupt business. Like, why would I keep engaging in that? Why would I engage with that kind of energy? And the fawning is a situation where, with a baby fawn, baby deer fawn, they just flop down. And it's like, you see people all the time. It's like, you're going to get hurt. Something bad's going to happen. They will pick them up out of the road and carry. It's like somebody coming in like that and saving you. Okay. And then we have this, which it's one of those things where it's like, maybe something didn't work out with one person. Okay. But there is another option, and you just can't bring yourself. Like, Spirit's like, there's another option that you can choose, since this other one isn't going the way you thought it would. You could be like the passion is just gets snuffed out. Spirit's saying this other option could turn that around and bring you back to life, and actually help you grow into the future like you wanted, in the expansive way that you wanted, with the life that you wanted. This other option is, but something has to be put to rest, or you're cutting that off before it ever begins. I do see two people here. We have an Emperor and we have a King of Cups. With the Queen of Wands. And somehow there's a choice or a decision that has to be made. Something took you by surprise. You can fawn and just say, that's it, I'm done. I'm going to keep the status quo for the foreseeable future or for the remainder of my life or whatever it is. Or you can choose to see what the other option is. It is giving like an option between two things. So whatever happened, at least from Spirit's perspective, is not necessarily out of question. It's still an option. But yeah, you don't want to be deceived again, so you're refusing to hear it. So this lack of trust is extending into any sort of promise from Spirit. It's kind of, I always talk like blood glucose or, spikes and things like that. The high, like when your blood sugar drops, the lower it drops, the higher it peaks. There's a whole process that causes that, but it's almost like, and then it's hard to get out of it because it'll keep doing like this and before it stabilizes. You know what I'm saying? And so it's one of those things where it's like, you can't do this up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Like, it's too much. It's too much on your system. It causes too much disruption in your life. You just want to escape. So let's see what the two options are. I'll explain what these two options are. I'm not going to hone it down to just between two people just yet. Whatever brings the most peace, harmony, balance within yourself. Okay, 6 of Wands, success. It's not helping us understand what the two options are. Spirit is trying to guide you to success, to a new start, to that new book or chapter in your life, to bring something back to life, something that is, I want to say, sacred to you, or that's meant for you. They want to revive something for you. I feel like you're fire. Hermit. But you don't trust something that's real, because we have the Seven of Swords and the Five of Swords flanking the Page of Pentacles. So you inherently don't trust what is bringing in this new start to your world or reality. Inherently, it's just there. In fact, your internal compass is giving, like this Hermit right here, with all of this, he's facing the opposite direction. Like, I just don't trust. It feels deceptive. It feels very deceptive to you. Even if, I don't think there's any bells or whistles that Spirit could bring out to change that perception. The idea of coming into union, soulmates, finding someone that's in perfect harmony with you, that you can marry, settle down with, have a future with. This is between two people. You don't buy it. You're not buying it. You think your better option is at this point just to stay alone. Because I don't know, it feels like you don't have to have faith then. I really tried to make it. Time warped on me. Okay. I looked at the camera. It had 12 minutes. I get to going, and all of a sudden it cuts off on me because my new system is set up where it cuts off at 30 minutes. And I'm like, oh no, I've got to get through this. But okie dokie. So I'm gonna have to stitch these together where it's a part one and a part two. Mm. So yeah, Four of Wands. This solid sense of foundation and togetherness and something that you can build on with someone else. It just doesn't seem like something that you believe. You just don't believe, and you're not willing, because that's the kind of part that's where faith comes in, right? The idea that despite the odds, you'll still believe, and you're like, I'm not gonna do that. What is this rescue, I might ask? What is this rescue? Is it trying to send somebody in to help rescue you since something else didn't work out? Or is it to rescue you from this idea? What is this rescue, please? Change. Sending somebody in to change your mind on like you're fawning, and they don't want you to just kind of like lie down and let life happen to you. They want you to have your spark back. They want to make that change. They want you to have the joy, the abundance, the fun that you deserve to have. I was getting new community with the Three of Cups as well. They want you to have the connections that you deserve. They want you to be able to build in your life. Again, lying down and just letting what happens to you moves you nowhere, expands you in no direction, adds nothing to your life. It'll be Groundhog's Day then. Okay. They wanna bring you out of this illusion that this is going to keep happening, that you can't trust, that you are incessantly being deceived. They're going to send something your way to show you that what you've experienced thus far is not all there is. Oh Lord, King of Wands. There is somebody that can, well, let me go despair and walking away from disappointment. They want you to be able to walk away from disappointment. You can find somebody that's your match and have like the happily ever after, the longevity. This is the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, and how is Spirit going to overcome? So that's why Spirit's like, please come. This is them calling you to something, but you're looking in a broken mirror, and you're like, you're not seeing. It's whatever you're looking at is very fractaled, and damaged, or from a fractal damaged perspective. And how are you going to help them overcome that, Spirit? Let's move these back over. And remember that Spirit's going to try to rescue from this. And that ultimately there is a choice, judgment, Ten of Wands. Tell us about these three people. Four of Wands. Union. You can have soulmates. Six of Cups, that's past life, soul level connections. You can have this. What didn't happen before? What was the disappointment before? Are we allowed to know? I can't help but feel like it's like with one of those people. Like deep soul level connection is still yours, still available. Are these two different people? The Emperor and the King of Cups? Princess of Swords. It's a Page of Swords. Lord have mercy. I mean, we know this is communication, and the Page of Pentacles is the ushering in of this new path, this new beginning. It's the seed that gets planted. But Queen of Wands again. The Empress is open, receptive, balanced, willing to nurture something, right? I think these cards are saying you have to be willing to communicate. You have to be open to new ideas, new information, but different perspectives, communicating. You have to be open to whoever this Queen of Wands is. You have to be open to someone, a new option, something new being brought into your life. You just have to be open to it. Are you going to, Spirit, are you trying to rescue them from their own resistance? Are you saying the only way you can come in and rescue them from this perspective is if they become open? Because I feel like once they become open, they're no longer bound by that perspective then. So what rescue is there? Let me see, number 11. What was that one? Rescue, save, or salvage. Are you trying to say they need to salvage this? Like something can still be salvaged on that. Okay. Is that why the other one, Eight of Wands? Lord of Swiftness, communication. What responsibility is it of the Queen of Wands? Something definitely took them by surprise, and they were immensely let down, and they're not about to do that again. So what exactly are you expecting of the Queen of Wands? And who are these two big Barneys? Who are these motherfuckers? Options, they don't feel the same. They don't feel the same. Like something new can start really fast if you're open. When the Queen of Wands is positively aspected, she absolutely is. And it's getting you get to choose, but is it really? Because something went wrong with one of these people. So it feels like they chose for her. So how is that an option? If somebody's removed themselves through either action or something where she feels like the rug has been ripped out from underneath her, like how is that where a real choice? How is that a real choice? The choice was taken away, it seems like to me. Golly, Three of Pentacles. It's come out twice. I'm trying to figure out if I'm getting this sense of like access to somebody through work, or Three of Pentacles is material work. It is building something within your reality. It's like needing to be open to working towards something and build to something. Making no sense here, Spirit. It's like I'm not in the business to try and convince somebody who feels as if like situations or circumstances no longer warrant their trust. Faith, it has a level of trust. And I know it's like defying the odds, but when you betrayal and deception, by all means, sticking around doesn't mean necessarily you have faith. I just don't understand what there is for this person to do, or even why it's their responsibility to do it. And I don't think you're going to be able to convince somebody. Yeah, walls are up for a good reason. Proactively protective, Seven of Wands, because they are the most important one. Seven of Wands is, I'm first. I come first. I'm looking out for me. Nobody else is. Because obviously some shit keeps happening. So now it's their responsibility to protect their peace. It's their responsibility to protect their peace, their sense of self, their sense of power. Is it better to do it alone, Nine of Pentacles, or is it better to do it in conjunction, in collaboration with someone? I mean, who's to say what's better? Honestly, having a successful, beautiful life all on your own, or creating a family? Because the Ten of Pentacles is like, who's to say which one's better? That's a matter of perspective. Ten of Pentacles, just because you don't have like a spouse and children doesn't mean that you don't live a fulfilling, wonderful, meaningful life. So what's wrong? I agree. Like, the confusion is, what's wrong with doing it alone? What's wrong with being the Nine of Pentacles versus having the Ten of Pentacles? This person only wants rest from strife. And if strife has come from so what do you once and for all, what do you want them to do? Like seriously, like just get on with it. I'm gonna put this back and pull from a different deck. What do you want them to friggin' do? King of Swords, Seven of Swords. You know, it sounds like to me the only time the rug is pulled out from underneath them is when this person has hope or faith in somebody else. But then the rug gets pulled out every time. They fall flat on their face and they're like, you know what? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But we're probably going on the fourth time. It's like the only time the rug gets ripped out from underneath me. I fall flat on my face and end up being in the same position over and over again, like having to restart and get overwhelmed with emotions is when somebody else is involved. And so that's where the refusal is coming from, Spirit. It's you know what I mean? Insanity is repeating the same pattern and expecting something to change, expecting a different outcome. This person feels like they're exercising a level of discernment. Sound of Pentacles. It's like giving, just wait, things will change. Well, what does that got to do with them? Why do they have to sit there and they can keep going about their business, and if things change, then obviously things will change. Like what? Like I fear like I am directing a message to somebody that I personally, Spirit, am on their side where this doesn't need to happen. Like this conversation shouldn't be happening with them. Like, I think they're saying that something is moving. You can't see it. Seven of Pentacles, something's underground, right? Something is developing, something is moving. Things are going to change. It is going to come through, that this is coming through for you. It is manifesting. They're just worried that once it shows up, you won't take it. Like what it is that you were hoping for and having faith in is coming through, even if not in the same, like with the same person or same situation, but what you want is coming through, and they're concerned with the fact that you will be like, fuck it, when it comes through. Like, you ain't gonna catch me going down that route again. Like when the real deal does. Is there an option between two at the same time, or is this another somebody else coming in after a bad situation? Like, let's clarify. Oh, there's all this. We're not doing that. Sometimes we don't have to go this deep or this long to get to the message, Spirit. But it feels like they wanted me to peel back the layers. Because somebody wouldn't even receive this usually. Yeah. They're afraid you're going to reject the change. Whatever this person brings in, remember, it's the Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles. This is a whole new life path that this person can help to usher in. It's the change that needs to happen. And they are afraid that you're going to, because this is like doing it to yourself, right? Ten of Swords, but all the swords are in his front. That means knowingly, willingly walking in and like saying nope. Like, and this is the energy of the fawn. It's just going, no. It is flopping on the ground and just letting life happen to you and not taking the opportunity for change, not changing your course, not making a decision. What, is their life going to be like horrible if they don't take this? Like, are we going to really be that dramatic and be like, oh, you're going to cause yourself to blah, 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 blah? King of Swords. Making a decision cerebrally. I mean, I think that they're talking about the going it alone route being more of a burden to you, like not sharing in something. It'll take a lot of strength. But it seems likewise it would take a lot of strength because the idea, like the part of you that wants to buck at the potential of somebody coming in, or things turning around in a situation where you felt like the rug was pulled out from underneath you, it feels like it would require a lot to tame that inner beast that gets triggered from this now. And your desire to remove yourself from this whirlwind of bullshit pushes you into a very cerebral state, willing to literally cut something off because you're only looking at it from a pragmatic stance and not from life satisfaction, feeling content and whole in other aspects of the self. But, maybe peace, emotional peace, wins out in the end. Seven of Cups is the whirlwind of emotions. It is the confusion. It is the what is or isn't good for me. They do want you to have a different perspective. Page of Wands with Three of Wands is the idea it's coming in. Sorry, it just feels like they want you to rethink opting out of. It may seem like right now that it's not an option. You're looking out there and you're like, I don't see anything emotionally fulfilling with the Seven of Cups. And I can't even allow myself to perceive that there is anything available or out there that's emotionally fulfilling. And that judgment very well may be clouded from the past. And you are at the place where cerebrally you're like, opening up emotionally is not worth the cost. The risk is not worth the cost. And I think that Spirit is like, that something is coming towards you and you're in this state right now and you very well may reject it when it arrives. And so they're asking you to open yourself back up. That is that. They won't really go anywhere else with it, so I'm going to leave it there. I hope it finds whoever it's meant for. I did have to, I don't even know if I'm going to stitch this together. I might just upload it in 2 parts. So, I hope you have a fantastic and wonderful day.